How's it going, you guys, and welcome back to ConstantlyVariedFitness. And in today's video, I'm gonna show you guys 3 areas all CrossFit beginners need to stretch every single day. Now, unless if you are someone that does yoga 4 or 5 times a week, maybe you're an ex-swimmer, ex-gymnast, and you are just blessed with incredible mobility and flexibility, these won't be for you. But for every single other person I see come into the gym, whether they do regular bodybuilding workouts, whether they run, whether they bike, whatever it is, they are usually very restricted in these areas, and it causes for poor movement patterns. It causes them to not hit the movement standard, and just overall can lead to injuries down the road, which is the biggest thing we want to avoid in the gym and outside the gym as well. So with these stretches, they are very simple. I have one that's banded, but otherwise you could also do it without the band as well. So all these stretches you can do either in the gym or outside the gym, and again, I recommend you do them every single day. I would hold the stretches for about a minute, up to 2 minutes or longer if you feel like you really need it and you could benefit more from it. So at least a minute, but you're gonna see lots of changes if you do this stretch every single day. It'll make you feel better, move better, and again, stay injury-free. Now, the first area we're gonna focus on is our hips, more specifically our psoas. Now, the psoas is a muscle that connects to your femur and runs through your hip and connects to your lower back. Now, if you're someone that also has lower back pain, this might also be the cause of it. But let's say you're someone that sits all day at work, maybe you have a very long commute where you're seated for 2 or 3 hours, and maybe even on top of that, you have that desk job. So you're seated for 11 to 12 hours out of your day, and you maybe spend an hour working out or going to the gym. It's not going to, even out. You need to make sure you're stretching it out to make sure it's nice and lengthened, and it's not getting shortened from being in that seated position all day long. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna snag a band, and you can snag a mat for your knee as well, but you can also do the stretch without a band if you need to. So I'll mention that after we get started with the band version. So moderate sized band, about an inch wide. Doesn't need to be a really thick band. Really, the more of a stretch you want into your hips, just obviously the further back you would take the band to get more tension into it. But what's gonna happen is you're gonna place your leg through the band, you're gonna place it underneath your butt, and then get some tension to the band, take a step back, and pop into a lunge. Now from here, I'm going to think about squeezing my butt really hard, pulling my ribs down. I'm not just leaning back. And from here, you're gonna feel a stretch in your psoas, kind of running up towards your hips, and then also a stretch going down on your quads if your quads are really tight, like mine usually are. So you're gonna hold here about a minute or 2 each side. Again, squeeze the butt, squeeze the abs, and feel a big stretch. Once you hold it for a minute or 2, then you'll switch sides. If you don't have a band because you don't want to do a stretch at home, you can ditch the band, still do the same thing without it. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your abs. You should still feel a stretch right here inside your hips. Now, the second area we're gonna focus on for our stretches is our calves and our ankles combined, because if anything running along here is tight, it's gonna restrict our ankle mobility, and if we're restricted here, it's gonna affect a lot of the things that we do in the gym, mainly our squats. So if any of these are tight, and I try to get into a deep below parallel squat, if I can't drive my knees very far forward because again, I'm lacking in that ankle mobility, it's gonna cause me to kind of hunch over more and make it harder for me to drive my hips down below my knees. So what I want to is increase this mobility, increase this dorsiflexion, which is essentially the motion of raising your toes towards your shins, and allow myself to sit a little more upright and get deeper into my squat position. So we're gonna focus on the gastrocnemius, which is the big meaty part on the top of your calf. Then we're gonna focus on the soleus and the Achilles itself. The soleus is the muscle that runs underneath your gastrocnemius and comes down and connects to your Achilles. So for the gastrocnemius, you just need a ledge, whether it be a raised surface like a stack of plates, whether it be a set of stairs, anything that's raised up off the floor. What you're gonna do here is you're gonna stand on top of it. I like to focus on one area at a time, so we're going to drop one heel as low as we can. Ideally, you don't want your heel to touch the floor, so have a high enough surface you can get a really, really deep stretch. But I'll hold out here for a minute or 2, and then I'll switch sides. That's, again, focusing on your gastrocnemius. Now for our soleus and our Achilles, what's gonna happen is I'm just going to drop that foot behind me, keep my heel planted and my toe pointed forward. I'm going to drive my knee as far forward as I can, and I'll feel more of a stretch in the lower part of my foot and my ankle where my Achilles is, so that way I'm getting a nice deep stretch there. Because again, if anything up here is tight, it's gonna affect your ankle mobility. So a minute or 2 here, and then switch sides. For our last area we're gonna focus on stretching is our thoracic spine. So the thoracic spine starts from the base of your neck and runs about 3/4 the way down your back. So it's the most of your spine, it's the majority of your spine. And we want to focus on making sure we have this slight curve that our spine has, because your spine makes a tiny little S curve versus a lot of people when they have poor posture, this over exaggerated huge curve in their upper back. So we don't want this, we don't want to have hunchback, we to have a nice upright posture, shoulders are down and back. So be conscious of it throughout your day and try to make sure you're not hunched over in your chair or at work or in your car, and try to be nice upright. But these are stretches that are gonna help us out as well. So we're gonna do 2 different stretches because I like making sure we're opening up our spine and making it nice and long, but also having nice rotation as well, because sometimes people can get very stiff. It becomes very hard for them to turn and twist because our spine can extend and flex, and it can also move laterally as well. So the first stretch we're gonna do, I'm doing it on my knees, but you can do it standing. I'm just using a stack of plates for my surface, but you can do it on a kitchen table, you can do it on a countertop, you could do it at work really if you wanted to. Just close the door so no one sees you. But you're gonna place your hands up on the surface. From here, I'm gonna focus on squeezing my abs down and not letting myself extend and getting my lower back involved. So squeezing down my abs from the get-go, I'm going to drop myself down, and I'm gonna get a big stretch in my back muscles, especially my lats if you have really tight lats, and you're gonna hold here for about a minute or 2. This should feel really good. It should help you open up, and you should feel yourself, if you take nice deep breaths, and every time you breathe out, try to fall a little bit lower. You should be able to get nice and deep in the stretch and really help open up your upper back. Again, if you let your core go and let yourself arch, you're not gonna get much upper back, your lower back's compensating for it. So keep your abs down as you go into that position. For the next stretch we're gonna do, again, we're gonna focus on the lateral movement of our spine. So from here, our quadruped position or a tabletop, I'm going to focus on, again, keeping my abs pretty tight, place my hand on the back of my head. I'm going to twist and turn, try and get my elbow up as high as I can, come back down, I'll come back up, try to go a little higher, take a big breath out, come back down. I will do about a minute's worth, or maybe 15 reps one side, then I'll do 15 the other side. If you have a friend, they can help also pull that elbow up a little bit, as long as you make sure you're not letting yourself go and getting too much of your lower spine involved as well. So I really like those stretches for your mid back. Again, you have to be conscious of it though, and make sure you're not being hunched over, because if you do these stretches every single day, but then again, you spend X amount of hours like this all day, it's not gonna do much for you. So those are the 3 stretches I recommend you guys do every single day to notice a huge difference in how you feel and how you move. All right, and there you have it. Those are the 3 areas and some stretches I recommend that you guys do every single day to make sure you're staying safe inside the gym. I'm a CrossFit coach. I'm coaching 5 to 6 days a week. There's not a day that goes by that I'm not hitting at least one of these areas with my athletes to make sure that they are moving efficiently and they're not getting in these poor positions when they're doing their workouts. So literally every single day, set a 15-minute timer, hit these stretches at any of the areas that are bothering you, and you're gonna make a huge difference in your results in the gym, and you're gonna feel a lot better doing it. So if you guys have any questions or comments on these stretches or any other problem areas you might have, please make sure you leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you guys. Also, let me know what other videos you'd like to see, if there's anything in particular, certain mobility videos, certain technique videos, nutrition, whatever it is, let me know and I'll gladly make it for you guys. Now, if you didn't already, please make sure you hit the like button, helps us out a lot. Subscribe for plenty more. I post a video every 3 or 4 days. And if you don't already, follow us on Instagram at ConstantlyVariedFitness. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys next time.